We're back, guys. Hey, guess what we got for you? We said we're gonna be reporters on the streets. So we're gonna report. So now we got what? The now what's happening State of the Union address.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go down what's been happening in the last 40 days.
Oh, it's so much. It's
I mean,
so much.
The last time we talked to you, it was only 17 days. But now we have 40. And we got stuff to talk about. First, we're just going to talk about the jobs. I know we all heard of our favorite 4-letter words, DOGE. Doge. Now, let's see what Doge been up to. So I did some investigative reporting. Let's talk about Department of Veteran Affairs. Let go 1,000 employees.
Yeah.
Got another 5,000 employees ready to get let go.
Ready to get let go.
So remember, we already did 1,000. Got 5,000 ready to get let go. That's just Department of Veteran Affairs. It gets better. Now, I didn't even know this even existed. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. I never heard that.
I don't know if I've ever heard of that either.
I never heard of the NOAA. All right, that sounds like a rap group, but but okay. Now, this organization, they are responsible for when there's like a hurricane or tornado or anything like that, catastrophic. That's their job. Yeah. No problem. 800, bam, gone. Over 8%. Just wipe them out. You done. Federal Housing Administration. All right. So initially, they knocked out 50%. Whack-a-mole, whack, 50%. Now that includes, this is about, FHA loans. And when you went to go get a home loan, the FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, are the one. Now think about it. I'm so used to hearing FHA, but I've never used to hearing the full federal housing. Wow.
Right, because these different groups are within other groups.
Other groups. Okay, you ready for this one? U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
I've definitely heard of them.
Now, 5,000. Pow! Yeah. Chop in the neck. Just like that.
One of the problems with this, because they also got rid of the website that has the full breakdown with the statistics.
Yes.
I would love to know the minority breakdown of all the firings, because as we know, the government is in the process of whitewashing the government. So if you're Black, you need to get back. There's no question. So I'm sure if they can fire the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff because he's Black, then they've already set the precedent. So I'm sure all the Black folks were the first to go.
Social Security Administration.
That's a big
one. IRS. Now, then they went and said, if you on probation, you get whacked.
Well,
I know. I hate to say it like that. But you know how many people qualify for that probationary period? 200,000 people were on probation.
when you and see, those people are people who only been on a job for a short period of time. And so when you start, you're kind of like on probation for a year or two before they say, okay, you worked out and now you can become a government employee. So that's so unfortunate.
Now, the messed up part about that is 40% were veterans.
If you think about it, the people who making these decisions never been in the military. If you look at Trump, he's a draft dodger, so he never went to the military. He never wanted to be a part of the military, so he has no loyalty to the military. And you look at Elon. Well, Elon is Elon. Elon is Elon. He's still doing Hail Hitler and all that type of stuff. He's come from South Africa, so he's a whole different beast altogether. What's sad about the whole thing? Now, there's one group that I'm I'm not going to be mad at it because
Go ahead.
I think they need to let go the IRS because they are vicious on these taxes. So I'm not really that mad, but the truth of the matter is that when you describe it, it seems like, and I'm sure it's what it is, the people that's doing the cutting, Doge, they're just looking at the numbers. They don't care about what they do. Oh, it's like you sit up. I'm sure Elon was sitting up, probably smoking some weed or something. And he was like, hey, we're going to cut 10% from here and 8% from there and 15% over here. And this is how we're going to come up with this. And so he didn't really care.
Well, they had these young kids, 20, 25. So here's the thing. They went into, again, I didn't even know this existed, the NNSA. I didn't know that existed. What? It's the National Nuclear Security Administration.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they went in, 350 people. Not realizing those 350 people are the only people who know how to maintain the nuclear codes.
The nuclear code. Now, see,
and the arguments.
See, first thing, by them being young, they don't even know what nuclear is. See, these people, remember, when you talk about these young people, these are people that are extremely intelligent, but they have no life. They grew up in a closed room playing video games. So they have no people skills and no real world experience other than what's in books. So they have no idea or understanding about the nuclear codes, the football. They don't know anything about that. Because in the name, you should have.
I know, right?
You should have known
the
something
name. National
in the name.
Nuclear Security Administration. Now that should tell you.
It's something about the name.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, this might be important.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
They can't find half the people they let go.
You wouldn't be able to find me. I would after that. I would go off the grid.
Think about that. They let you go, not realizing what your job is, and when they realize it, they want to hire you back. Now, here's my problem with that. My problem is the 5,000 people that let go from the FDA. Would you really go back, realizing that he's going to find another reason to fire you again?
If you think about it, we all try to get a job or get a career where we can have some stability in your life.
Yes.
Obviously, if you fear for your job, you can be fired at any time. There's no stability. Mm-hmm. And so if you had an out, then why would you go back? I understand about the money and I understand all that, but these are highly skilled individuals. And I do understand that some of these jobs are unique to the government. However, these are intelligent, skilled people, and I'm sure they can go to other places and find jobs. DEI.
DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Yeah. So the effort, here's what it says. The effort is aimed to align the workforce more closely to the administration's agenda.
Yeah.
So Doge came in and has a pivotal role in helping restructuring the government so we don't have DEI. What's your thoughts on it? I know you got something. If
you notice, it was the first one. That's what started the ball rolling. They came in, and that was the first major thing that they did was get rid of DEI. And that really set the pace. It set the groundwork, the framework to show you where they were going. They immediately hit diversity because that's not something you want in a white power structure. They only want white folks in that. And they needed to get rid of diversity. And remember, just by them doing that, it sent a shockwave around the country. Now, All the stores and other businesses not even related to the government. Remember, they did that in the government. So there's no reason for Target to get rid of DEI. There's no reason for Walmart they're not part of the government. But somebody said something to me the other day about everything that's going on. And they made just an excellent point. That things have happened so fast. We're talking about we're in this thing 5 weeks.
Oh, light speed.
Things happen so fast. It's like that things were lying dormant, waiting for someone or something to happen to trigger it. It's like having dominoes lined up. And when Trump came in, he hit that domino, which activated all these businesses. Remember that all these businesses had committed billions of dollars after George Floyd, right? After George Floyd, this was the year that they were going to kick in with the DEI. I mean, Target alone had promised, I don't know, $20-30 million, something like that. So when that DEI fell, when Trump killed that freedom, so they wouldn't have to spend that money. And so everyone jumped on board. I think, though, from a lot of the videos that we're seeing today, a lot of people are having buyer's remorse. A lot of people are saying they regret putting Trump in office because I think a lot of people thought it was only going to happen to us.
Well, see, look at that. Look, guys, he already segmented into the next thing I want to talk about. I'll tell you, the State of the Union is on. All right, the next thing, immigration policy enforcement. All right. Well, what this says here, okay, it says increased enforcement and monitoring. The administration has intensified immigration enforcement, including plans to revoke visas. Foreign students expressing to come here and actually learn. Okay, if you're a student and you don't live here, don't think you come to school here. All right, let's talk about it. You just hit it on it. Buyer's remorse. A lot of people, our Hispanic brothers and sisters, our Asian brothers and sisters, man, they kick everybody out. Okay, they ain't hold nobody back.
Right.
They voted for Trump, saying it can't happen to me. He ain't talking about me.
Right.
And so what?
Well, I think Malcolm X said it best. You've been bamboozled. Run them up. Hoodwink. I mean, come on. That's what happened. It's amazing. It's amazing how I look back.
Yeah.
And through the campaign and all of that, I'm looking at him, Trump as a flim-flam man, a con man. And if you look at his career, that's what he's been about. People were one issue voters who they just cared about one thing, where one person just cared about integration. It's too many illegals. And they really didn't care what else he would do. It was just about illegals. He's gonna shut down the border. Mm-hmm. And then other people were saying, hey, the government is too big. But they thought he was gonna go in the government with a scalpel. He come in with a sledgehammer and he ripping this thing apart like he's Demolition Man. And the reality of it is, though, and I think people are still missing the picture, this is a money grab. The reason he's cutting these different, these very vital organizations within the government is to come up with this $4.2 trillion. That he wants to give his friends in this tax cut.
Man, you are on a roll because we just hitting these things. So guess what? I'm telling you, we're going to talk about the State of the Union. Guess what my next topic is?
What is it?
Oh, my God. The economy and trade policy. All right. The economy and trade policy. Let's talk about tariffs. Everybody talking about tariffs and the economy. So we're going to actually tell you what this really means. So this is what the administration says. The administration says, announced the implementation of tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, China, aiming to address the imbalances and protect our domestic interests and stop letting those drugs in. Now, here's That's what I said. I'm just telling you, this is what they're saying. Okay? Now, we all know tariffs mean you got to spend some more money at the grocery store.
Right.
That's what tariffs mean. Now he don't want to say it, but it means that when you go to the grocery store, instead of you spending $10, you spend $25. Because because think about it, all the other things we just talked about, immigration. Well, guess what? And this is actually true. They actually showed this. They actually showed that there was a story that they're having problems having people pick grapes, apples, pears, and plums because the American workers only want to work half a day, and they want to get paid American wages.
Oh yeah.
Where the illegals were not getting paid American wages, but they were working 8, 9, 10 hours a week.
Oh yes.
He ran on groceries. He did a whole interview. Yes. He said, I said groceries and my number shot up. And that's what he did. And so we thought he was going to lower groceries.
This man is a billionaire. See again, he's relying on naivete and just pure ignorance of people. Now, when do you think the last time Donald Trump went shopping in a grocery store? He hasn't been in a grocery store in his life.
Thank you.
In his entire life. I mean, come on now. Come on. He doesn't care anything about the groceries. He could care less. He don't know what the cost of food is. I've seen videos of farms where they have apples and different orchards, and the stuff them start falling on the ground. It hasn't been picked. And this stuff is going to wait. We are going to pay through the nose. Donald Trump and his team has a war on America because he hit us. Think about it. He hit us with the 1-2 punch, right? He got rid of the illegals to cut the food. So the farmers, they have to pay premium prices if they want to get the work done. But if that's not enough, he hit you with the tariffs to make you pay double. So not only are you going to pay the farmers who actually can come to market and sell their stuff, so they done already took a loss. So they have to compound that loss they've had in the cost of goods. And then the tariffs kick in, you're going to have to pay for those tariffs. So we're being double hit.
Yes.
So instead of you paying from $10 to $25, you're going to be paying $45. And then they got the nerve enough to say they was talking about the price of eggs. And one lady in the administration was saying, well, she was saying people should think about getting chickens. She said she had chickens, and that if you get you a couple of chickens, you can have your own eggs.
Look at that. Your own eggs.
And now they have these places where you can rent a chicken. But they came out with the numbers on rent a chicken. They were saying that if you had a couple of chickens,
oh my goodness,
it would deliver a certain amount of eggs, which will save you, come on now, it will save you $365 on eggs.
Look at that.
Rent a chicken But the problem is to rent a chicken, it costs $780. So you still out of $400 and some dollars. But you got plenty of eggs though.
You have plenty of eggs.
But you're going to be out of all this money. So I don't think that's a viable solution. I mean, it's a lose-lose. My problem is with all of these cuts, it is a reflection on the people though, isn't it? What do you think about, now you and I, we watched this whole thing. You know, we've been watching it for years. What do you think about the people who can watch him and still not only vote for him, but still be behind him? What kind of people are they? What will cause a person to not only vote for him, but stand by him? What do you think that person looks like or thinks about?
He is a great actor.
Yes, I agree.
And I have seen him be ruthless and then hug on somebody, and you know it's fake, hug on them and say, great job. And then he'll say something that just blows your mind, like he really has a heart.
Yeah.
Then he'll no, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. He'll talk about a family that went through this, and he's all emotional in it, and then say, I can hit someone with a bus and not go to jail. But he has this thing, and you know it. You've seen those people before. There's certain people who it doesn't matter what they say. Man, you went to another segment. I'm telling you, I got so much stuff to talk about. Whoa.
Good.
Let's hit it. Department of Education.
Oh.
Yes. Abolishment. All right, let's hear. Executive order to dissolve the Department of Education. So President Trump signs an executive order to abolish the Department of Education, transferring educational responsibilities back to the individual states. This move aligns the administration with their goals to reduce the federal oversight of education. Now, that sounded very nice and pretty. But really, what that means is that, guess what? Your kids probably won't have hot lunches. Your kids, you thought they didn't have extracurricular, now they really ain't gonna have no extracurricular activities as their kids. Your kids who had special ed programs, guess what? Gone. So now that means your state, the state that you live in, has to find a way to get that money so your kids can have all these programs. What you got? What you got?
Here in Ohio, right after that happened, our government sent our Governor DeWine, he's the governor of Ohio. He sent out a press release, and he said very simply, they're going to cut the educational budget by 60%. And he asked for all the schools. The government covers 60% of the educational budget. So I can see, I see a lot of loss, because I can see classrooms with 60 kids in it. I can see teachers quitting because it's too much for them. They're already overwhelmed.
Yes.
And so I see teachers quitting. I see schools closing. I see if you can't get your kid to a school, because there won't be any bus service. So if you can't drop your kid off and pick them up, your kid won't go to school. So hey, this is Make America Great Again. This is to get you back. But yeah, that's what's going on here in Ohio. They saw that and they knew exactly what it means. They send out the airbags, say, hey, you need to get ready. And so when school starts back up in the fall after summer break, it's going to be a rude awakening, because over a third of our schools are going to just close. These schools are going to be in the poorest communities.
Yeah. And then they see, the private schools are probably going to jack up prices. Supply and demand. I can charge whatever I want. It's okay, we're going to wrap it up with one more. I'm telling you, I got 15 more. We're going to do one more. Social Security.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Let's talk about Social Security. So the administration just put forward a budget, all right, to figure out how to pay for this $4 trillion needed to maintain the tax cuts.
Yeah.
Maintain the tax cuts that President Trump, when he first took office, put in. So most of that is targeted towards the Social Security. Now, $1.4 trillion with a T. $1.4 trillion that's actually allocated to the Social Security Administration, including Medicare and Medicaid. That's what that's for. They want to slash $800 million out of that. So 1.4, you slash 800 million. Hey, that leaves only 600 million. So what does that mean?
Well, hold on. Am I right or wrong, though? Since everyone's been working, don't they take Social Security out? Isn't that your money? Isn't that my money?
Exactly. But but it's his money now. So this is his
But
money.
This the money we done put in
Yes.
all our work in life. This is
Yes.
not the government giving us money. This is money that we put in.
Yes. But the problem, see, here's the problem. The problem is they got to find $4.2 trillion. That's where the second problem is that we can't maintain Social Security at the levels that it is, that in 8 years, somebody got to do something. In 8 years, we can't afford it.
But what does that got to do with robbing Social Security?
Well,
I understand what you're saying. You saying, and it's because all these baby boomers retiring. I get all of that. You're saying that it's going to run out of money
in 8 years. In 8 years.
So the solution to it running out of money in 8 years is to rob it
right now.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You're robbing it right now to pay for the tax cuts for today.
Yes, to make sure that they get their money, but still, this is our money.
Yes,
this is not handout. This is not handout. This is not aid. This is the money that we've been putting in. If you look on your check, you got that SS. Right there on your check. You've been paying that ever since you've been working.
Hey, but who got access now? Elon got access to the Department of Treasury. He got access to the money. So Republicans put past the bill for that to happen. Now it has to go to the Senate. Now here's the crazy thing. All this has to happen, I think, between about the 14th of March. I think because by April, they got to have the new budget in. Did you know that 40% of all babies are born as paid for by Medicare and Medicaid? 40% of all babies in the United States. When you go to the hospital and you don't have insurance, and that hospital sees you because they can't turn you away, that's Medicare and Medicaid. Most people don't realize that.
Well, a lot of people is getting ready to get a rude awakening.
Yes.
Because they really don't know. They don't know how government works.
No.
But I can tell you one thing though. A lot of those people are going to be Trump voters. I think for a group of people, it's okay if it's happening to a certain group of people. But I don't think they realize that this is going to affect everyone.
Yes, that's correct.
Everyone across the board. So this is going to be an interesting thing as this whole thing pans out. The one group that really gets me is the veterans, because those veterans have given everything. Some veterans give their lives. They've given everything.
But he pumped them up when he came into office the first time.
Yeah,
he piled on top of benefits that Obama put in. Obama put in a lot of benefits. He then added on a whole bunch of more benefits. And so the veteran was like, yes. And so now he coming in, yanking benefits away.
It's all about the money grab. It's all about the tax cuts for the rich, because it was scheduled to expire.
Yeah.
And so, and he wanted to go big. He wanted to go big.
Go big. We went over a lot of time, but we got to use one more in.
Let's hit it.
$5 million for citizenship.
Oh, pay to play.
So pay to play. So the administration put towards a visa program. The visa program says, hey, if you pay $5 million, you too can become a citizen of the United States of America. And with all rights and privileges. You know how to say in church, we're all rights and privileges of the United States. What you think about that? Now, he went on TV. He was excited.
Yeah.
He was excited to talk about this program.
I'm sure he is, but remember, there's a lot of people that have not been able to come to this country, namely the oligarchs in Russia. Remember, we froze trillions of dollars that they had in the United States. Now, these Russian powerhouses can not only come to the U.S., but they can become citizens, something that they've probably never dreamed of. You know, because you can have a dual citizenship.
That's right.
And so now you can be a citizen of Russia and you can be a citizen of the United States, something that has never been thought of in history. And so, you know, a lot of those deals are backroom deals where they'll come to Mar-a-Lago. Now, it may be 5 million on top, but it may be 50 million in the back.
Yeah. No, it's actually, this is actually a real visa that you can get from the State Department. It's legal.
Oh, yeah.
But like you said,
it
may be 5 on top and 50 on the back end.
I mean,
gotta get some.
Drug cartels, all types of people, syndicate people who have been forced out of the United States can now come back.
Guys, that's the State of the Union, and we're 40-some days in.
Ooh.
We're going to come back.
Ooh.
We might do a 90-day check-in. That's what, what that's what we're going to do. A 90-day
we should
check-in to see what has changed.
Oh, my goodness.
Since we went from 17 to 40 to 90 days.
Yes.
Hopefully, y'all, we still here. So,
Ooh.
Well, guys, thanks for watching the State of the Union on what? Now was